Why does the air shift when you enter a room? Why do people instinctively turn their heads, drawn to your presence as if they've sensed something beyond the ordinary? It's because your spirit is heavy, laden with a force that commands attention, that bends reality to your will. Have you noticed how the atmosphere thickens when you speak? Or how silence falls when you stand still, as if the universe itself is pausing to listen? These are not coincidences. They are the unmistakable signs that your spirit carries a weight few can comprehend, a power that shapes the world around you in ways you're only beginning to understand. In the shadowed stillness, the air quivers with an unspoken intensity. You stand alone, yet the energy that surrounds you is palpable, commanding every gaze, every breath. It's not by choice that you draw this attention, it's your essence, undeniable and magnetic. Tonight, everything shifts. You are the axis upon which reality tilts, the hidden force igniting the unseen into life. Now, the truth of your power unfolds. The first sign your spirit is heavy is the catalyst effect. You find yourself at a family gathering, a setting that often stirs your reluctance, yet you attend out of obligation. The evening drags on, and your presence, initially unnoticed, begins to saturate the room. The air thickens, charged with a silent intensity that only you seem to bring. Conversations, once light and effortless, begin to falter. Words stumble as if they're tripping over the weight of unspoken truths. Your silence, far from passive, becomes an active force, a blade that slices through the comfortable veneer of normalcy. As you sit quietly, you watch the shift happen. It's subtle at first, a nervous laugh here, a darting glance there, but then it intensifies. Your mere existence in that space acts like a magnet, drawing out the hidden darkness that each person thought they had securely buried. They feel it, even if they don't understand it, the pressure to confront what they've long avoided. You are the Pandora's box they never wanted to open, yet they cannot resist the pull of your energy. One by one, they begin to unravel. The cousin who's always been the family's golden child suddenly bursts into tears, confessing a long-held secret that shatters the illusion of perfection. Your aunt, the one who prides herself on her unshakable composure, finds herself trembling as she admits to a betrayal she's concealed for years. The atmosphere becomes electric, charged with the rawness of their admissions. It's chaos, unplanned, unscripted, and utterly transformative. But here's the thing. This chaos isn't destructive. Your presence, though it feels like a storm ripping through their carefully constructed lives, is the catalyst they didn't know they needed. The truths that emerge, no matter how painful, are the first step toward real healing. You've forced them to confront the festering wounds they've long ignored, and in doing so, you've paved the way for their eventual liberation. This is the power of your spirit. It's not just heavy, it's gravitational. It pulls everything toward a point of reckoning, forcing the truth to the surface, no matter how deeply it's been buried. You don't just walk into a room, you change the room. And whether they realize it or not, they're all better for it, even as they're reeling from the impact. The second sign your spirit is heavy is your watchful guardians. As you walk through the deserted streets late at night, the world around you becomes a canvas of shadows and silence. The darkness presses in, cold air slicing through your skin, yet there's no trace of fear within you. Instead, you are wrapped in a sense of safety so profound that it feels otherworldly, a cloak of protection woven from threads unseen by mortal eyes. Then, from the depths of that shadowed realm, a figure emerges, their intentions dark and malevolent. Their presence disrupts the stillness, a predator drawn by the perceived vulnerability of solitude. But as they move closer, something shifts in the air, an almost imperceptible tremor that halts their advance. Their confidence evaporates as they're struck by an invisible force, a wall of unseen power that emanates from your very being. It's not just hesitation that grips them, it's an overwhelming sense of dread, as if they've come face to face with something far beyond their comprehension. You walk on, untouched, your pace unbroken. You know without a doubt that you are not alone in this moment, that forces far greater than yourself have stepped in. These are the watchful guardians, spiritual entities bound to your spirit by ties forged in realms beyond this one. They linger at the edge of your perception, invisible yet undeniable, manifesting in the moments when danger draws near, warding off threats with a power that cannot be seen but is felt deeply by those who would dare harm you. This is no coincidence, no random act of fate. It's a testament to the weight of your spirit, to the divine contract that places you under the protection of beings who operate in shadows and light, in the spaces between worlds. They are drawn to you because your essence is a beacon, a flame that cannot be extinguished, attracting both light and darkness. But these guardians ensure that the darkness never consumes you, that you walk through the night unscathed, shielded by forces that bend reality itself in your favor. You don't just survive the night, you conquer it. Your path remains clear, not by your hand alone, but by the intercession of those who dwell in the unseen. This is the power of your spirit. It commands protection from realms beyond, ensuring that no harm can reach you while these guardians stand vigil. Their presence is a reflection of your spirit's gravity, pulling divine protection into your orbit and repelling all that would seek to do you harm. The third sign your spirit is heavy is you become the mirror of truth. You're in the middle of a conversation, exchanging words that, on the surface, seem ordinary. Yet, without warning, the person sitting across from you falters. Their voice, once steady, suddenly betrays them, leaving sentences hanging in the air like broken threads. It's not because of anything you've said. It's the unspoken force between you that halts them. Your presence, powerful and unyielding, has become a mirror, reflecting back the deepest truths they've desperately tried to keep hidden. As they sit there struggling to continue, the weight of your spirit bears down on them, a silent demand for authenticity that cannot be ignored. Their carefully constructed facade begins to crack under the pressure, and what spills out is raw and unfiltered. They begin to confess sins, regrets, and the dark secrets they've long buried beneath layers of deception. Their words come in a rush, as if they're purging themselves, unable to resist the force that compels them to face the reality they've so carefully avoided. You watch as they unravel, their defenses crumbling like ancient walls against the tide of your presence. It's as if your spirit has pulled a veil from their eyes, forcing them to confront what they've been running from. In your presence, deception has no place to hide. It's as if lies melt away under the intense scrutiny of your soul, leaving only the stark, unvarnished truth. This isn't just an accident or a momentary lapse in their composure. It's your spirit's demand for honesty, a force so potent that it draws out the truth like a magnet pulls iron from the earth. You don't need to speak a word. Your very essence compels it. The mirror of truth is your gift, your curse, your undeniable power. In your presence, the falsehoods others have clung to are stripped away, leaving them vulnerable and exposed. And in that exposure, they find the freedom they didn't know they needed. The liberation that only comes when one's soul is laid bare. Your spirit does more than demand honesty. It enforces it. In the presence of your truth, no lie can stand. No deceit can remain concealed. You are the mirror that reflects the darkest corners of their being, forcing them to see themselves as they truly are. And whether they welcome it or not, this revelation is a necessary step in their own awakening, one they could never have reached without the heavy gravity of your spirit. The fourth sign your spirit is heavy is you become an unyielding beacon. The room is a cauldron of chaos, emotions boiling over as voices clash, anger igniting like wildfire. Confusion reigns, an untamed storm battering everyone within its reach. Yet, amidst the relentless tempest, you stand firm, an immovable force, your spirit radiating an aura of calm that cuts through the frenzy like a lighthouse piercing the darkest storm. You didn't come to lead. Leadership was thrust upon you by the sheer gravitational pull of your presence. As the storm rages, their voices grow louder, desperation and fury feeding off each other, creating a cacophony that threatens to drown out reason. But then, something shifts. One by one, their gaze turns to you, drawn by a force they can't articulate but can no longer deny. Their anger, once so fierce, begins to falter, crumbling under the weight of your unshakable calm. They don't know why, but they are compelled to seek refuge in your presence, like ships seeking the safety of a harbor in the midst of a violent sea. You speak, and your words are like a blade cutting through the fog of confusion. Each syllable is precise, slicing away the noise, leaving only clarity in its wake. Where there was darkness, you bring light, not the soft glow of a candle, but the blinding brilliance of the sun breaking through storm clouds. Your voice becomes the anchor they so desperately need, grounding them as the chaos around them begins to dissipate. You didn't ask for this role, but your spirit's heavy gravity leaves them with no other choice. In that moment, you become more than just a presence in the room. You are the beacon guiding them out of the storm. Their anger and despair, once so consuming, are drawn to you, unable to resist the pull of your spirit. They find in you a clarity they couldn't see in themselves, a strength that steadies their own faltering resolve. Your spirit demands not just attention, but allegiance, a silent command that they can neither refuse nor question. The fifth sign your spirit is heavy is you become a disruptive innovator. You find yourself in a meeting, surrounded by voices that drone on, recycling the same stale ideas, as if creativity itself has been suffocated. You sit quietly, your thoughts sharp and restless, as a spark ignites within you. It's a fire that refuses to be contained, and before you can suppress it, the words burst from your lips like a bolt of lightning tearing through the sky. The room falls silent. Your words ripple through the air, shattering the fragile comfort of the status quo. They didn't see it coming. How could they? Your spirit is not one to conform, to settle for mediocrity. It's a force of nature, an unstoppable tide that sweeps away the debris of outdated thinking, leaving no room for the familiar patterns that have grown stagnant. You've done more than just speak. You've detonated a bomb of innovation in the midst of their complacency, and the shockwaves are impossible to ignore. The others stare at you, their eyes wide with a mixture of awe and fear. They can't quite grasp what has just happened, but they feel the shift in the air, the undeniable change that your words have set in motion. The room, once filled with the comfortable murmur of agreement, is now charged with tension, as if every molecule is vibrating with the potential for something new, something greater. Your spirit doesn't just challenge the norms, it obliterates them, tearing down the old to make way for the new. They are left reeling, unsteady on their feet, as the ground shifts beneath them. But within that disorientation lies the seed of transformation, planted by the force of your spirit. You didn't just disrupt the meeting, you disrupted their very way of thinking, opening the door to a future they couldn't have imagined. Your spirit is heavy because it carries the weight of change, the power to reshape reality itself. And in your presence, nothing can remain the same. The sixth sign your spirit is heavy is your silent strength. In the heart of a crisis, where the air is thick with panic and fear, you remain unshaken. Chaos swirls around you like a relentless storm, but you stand as a pillar of calm, an unmovable force in the eye of the hurricane. Your silence speaks louder than any words could. It is a beacon of stability, a fortress against the onslaught of confusion and despair. The world around you may be crumbling, but your spirit holds firm, radiating a strength that transcends the chaos. Those around you are gripped by fear, their minds scattered, their emotions in turmoil. They flail, seeking something, anything, that can anchor them in this maelstrom. And then they see you, standing resolute, your silence a stark contrast to the noise of their distress. They gravitate towards you, drawn by the quiet power that emanates from your very being. It's not just your calm they seek, it's the deep, unyielding strength that lies beneath it, the silent assurance that in your presence, they can find the fortitude to endure. Your spirit becomes their sanctuary, a well of resilience from which they drink. They draw strength from you, not because you offer words of comfort or solutions, but because your very existence in that moment is enough. Your silence is not an absence. It is a profound presence, a statement of unwavering resolve that cuts through the fog of fear. In that silence, they find clarity, a grounding force that steadies them, even as the world tilts on its axis. You don't need to speak. Your presence alone is the answer they seek. It's as if your spirit has woven an invisible shield, protecting those around you from the full brunt of the crisis. They draw closer, seeking refuge in your strength, and in doing so, they begin to find their own. Your spirit, heavy with silent power, becomes the foundation upon which they rebuild their courage. The seventh sign your spirit is heavy is you become a serendipitous pathfinder. On an ordinary day, a mundane trip home takes an unexpected turn. A detour, unplanned, unexplained, pulls you off your familiar path, leading you to a place you've never seen before, yet it resonates with a strange sense of familiarity, as if you've been drawn here not by chance, but by a force far greater. The surroundings hum with a silent energy, every shadow and light playing a role in a scene crafted specifically for you. It's as if the very fabric of the universe twisted itself to guide you to this exact moment, to this hidden corner of the world. There, amidst the ordinary, you encounter something, or someone, that shifts your reality. It could be a brief exchange of words, a fleeting glance, or a subtle sign that shakes the foundations of your understanding. The encounter is no mere coincidence. It is a catalyst, a key turning in the lock of your fate. In that instant, you feel the weight of your spirit guiding you, pulling you toward a destiny that has been waiting in the shadows, just out of sight. The sense of inevitability is overwhelming, as if every decision, every step you've taken has led you precisely to this point. Your spirit is more than just a presence. It is a guide, a cosmic compass, leading you to people and places that will shape your destiny in ways you cannot yet fathom. This path, though unexpected, is not random. It is a thread woven by the hands of the universe, pulling you through the labyrinth of existence with deliberate precision. You didn't choose this detour. It chose you because your spirit carries the weight of purpose, a gravitational pull that bends the very reality around you. As you stand in that hidden place, the air thick with the resonance of the moment, you realize that this was meant to happen. The encounter, the detour, the shift in your perspective, all of it was orchestrated by forces unseen but deeply felt. Your spirit, heavy with the knowledge of paths not yet walked, is the beacon that draws these moments to you. They are not random, they are stepping stones laid out by the universe, leading you toward a destiny that is uniquely yours. You are not just wandering, you are being led, guided by a force that sees beyond the immediate, beyond the visible. And as you continue to follow these unexpected paths, you will find that each detour is a piece of the puzzle, each encounter a key that unlocks the next chapter of your destiny. Your spirit knows the way even when you don't, and it will continue to guide you, pulling you through the currents of existence to places and people that will shape who you are destined to become. The eighth sign your spirit is heavy is you are a timeless visionary. Long after you've departed from this world, your legacy remains, a body of work, a creation that carries the weight of your spirit, embedded with a force that defies the passage of time. Years, perhaps even decades later, someone stumbles upon what you've left behind. Your words, your art, your vision. They are not just observers. They are captivated, transfixed by the depth and power of what they've discovered. It's as if your essence, your very spirit, reaches out from the shadowed halls of time, grasping their soul with an undeniable intensity. In that moment, they feel the full impact of your existence. Your work, your legacy, is more than just a relic of the past. It's a living force, a beacon that continues to shine, casting its light far beyond the confines of your earthly life. The effect is profound, as if the boundaries of time itself have been shattered, allowing your spirit to transcend the present, to echo through the ages. Your vision, once bound to a specific moment in time, now stretches across generations, influencing, shaping, and guiding those who come after you. You've become more than a memory. You've become a force that cannot be contained. The weight of your spirit is such that it lingers, a presence that refuses to fade, regardless of the years that pass. What you've created is not merely a testament to your life, but a bridge between the past and the future, a timeless vision that continues to shape the world long after your physical form has returned to dust. As the ripples of your spirit continue to carve their way through the lives of those around you, understand that the weight you carry is not merely a burden. It is a powerful testament to your existence. This weight is both a gift and a challenge, a duality that demands you rise to the occasion. These 8 signs, each a beacon of the immense force you possess, are not just subtle hints or fleeting indications. They are the undeniable proof of your mission, the indelible mark you leave on the world. Your spirit does not simply pass through life, it shapes it, molds it, leaves an imprint that cannot be erased. Each sign is a reflection of the energy you project, a force that bends reality to your will, drawing others into your orbit and compelling them to confront their own truths. You are not just a participant in this world. You are a catalyst, a disruptor, a visionary whose presence demands attention and action. Continue to walk with purpose, with the full knowledge that every step you take echoes through the fabric of existence. Your path is not a simple journey. It is a deliberate act of creation, a forging of destiny that only you can achieve. In this journey, your true strength is revealed, not in the absence of challenges, but in your ability to rise above them, to wield the weight of your spirit as both shield and sword. The world may not always understand the gravity of your presence, but it is felt deeply and irrevocably by all who cross your path. You are a force that cannot be contained, a spirit that cannot be ignored. In the quiet moments of reflection, when the world seems still, know that your influence is at work, silently reshaping the lives of those you've touched, leaving them forever altered. Your mission is not yet complete, and the signs will continue to manifest, guiding you, challenging you, reminding you of the power you hold. Embrace this weight, for it is in the carrying of it that you find your true purpose, your true strength. The mark you leave on this world is not just a memory, it is a legacy, a force that will endure long after you've moved on. Walk with purpose, for in doing so, you fulfill the destiny that only you can claim.